All right, in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys something I'm really excited about right now. I just launched a brand new retargeting ad strategy and I wanna share it with you, show you exactly how to set it up. Now, the intention behind these ads is to start to build more know, like, and trust with new followers, new leads that I'm getting from my existing ads. My past strategy for retargeting was just to retarget people with direct response ads to get them to DM me or to get them to opt back into the funnel. But the problem that I'm experiencing, and I think a lot of other online coaches and consultants are too, is that the trust radar is just going off, right? Like there's so many people making big claims, big guarantees, that it's hard to stand out if you're a really good coach and you have a really good offer. So I'm gonna share with you guys in this video what I'm experimenting with right now to cut through the noise and essentially overcome all the objections that somebody would have when it comes to working with me. And I'm gonna do it in a way that is very cheap. I'm telling you, what I'm about to show you right now, I'm putting ads that are very basic ads, like very basic, like Instagram Reels, carousels, like organic posts in front of people who have opted into my stuff in the last 30 days. I'm putting enough spin behind this to where every single person who's opted in that Facebook can track is gonna see 2 to 4 of my pieces of content every day. And all the content I'm putting in front of them is just smashing objections. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do this inside of Ads Manager. Before I do, I always wanna give credit where credit is due. I got this strategy from Jeremy Haynes, and then I've changed it a little bit with how I set it up in the Ads Manager to make it a little bit simpler and actually increase the frequency of impressions, which means the number of times someone sees the ad from me. All right, so without further ado, check this out. All right, so I'm in my ad account and you can see it right here. This is called the Hammer Them campaign. Okay, again, this is totally from Jeremy Haynes, the concept behind it. What we're doing here is anybody that's opted into anything in the last 30 days, like I said, I'm forcing organic content in front of them. This is a very small audience and I spend about $1,000 a day on ads. So I'm only using about 5% of my budget. It's very small. So if you were spending, $100 a day, you might do $5, $10 a day max to a campaign like this. But what this thing is set up to do is I have like a bunch of social proof in here. I just filmed another 11 reels that I will be adding to this that are all overcoming objections. So for me, I help a lot of coaches with launching Instagram ads. So common objections or questions are, how long does it take to start seeing results? How much should I spend to start seeing results on Instagram ads? What's the worst case scenario if I spend money on Instagram ads? What if I keep attracting broke leads with Instagram ads? Hey, I've ran ads before in the past and they didn't work. So I'm essentially creating very simple short form reels that overcome those objections. And I'm gonna put them all in this ad set. And I'm gonna put it in front of people who have opted in to any of my stuff in the last 30 days and force them to see the content, okay? Now, Jeremy Haynes, like I said, he came up with a strategy and he typically uses this when people book calls, right? Because when people book calls, he's trying to improve the show rate and close rate. For my business, the current bottleneck we have is to continue to get high quality leads to book calls. So because of that, I'm just moving this thing a little bit earlier on in the funnel process to where when someone opts in, they're gonna see my stuff enough times to where they're gonna want to book a call with us. So I've just kind of manipulated it that way. And I've also adjusted the campaign setup. And I wanna walk through that with you right here so you can see exactly how I did this. All right, so let's just jump in and I'll show you guys how this thing works. Actually, you know what, before I do this, just check this out. All right, so I launched these about a week ago, okay? I launched these about a week ago and you'll see inside of here that the average person, a frequency means how often someone's seen an ad. The average person has seen 16.8 ads in the last week. And I've spent $380. Again, the pool of people is not that high. There's only 386 people who recently opted in with this workflow. And I'll show you guys how to push more people through this. But you got to realize that Facebook's algorithm can't always track everybody. Like we probably get about 1,000 to 1,500 leads or so a month. And Facebook's only being able to put this in front of about 400 of them. So I'm doing some stuff now inside of Go High Level, which I'll show you guys at the end, to push more people into this campaign to make sure that we can increase that number. Because if I'm gonna retarget them, I wanna make sure everybody's in there. You know what I mean? So let's jump in. Really excited about this. So this is an awareness campaign, all right? So when you make a new ad, it's an awareness objective. And again, Jeremy Haynes, he has an engagement objective, but I wanted to try a awareness objective. And essentially what that's going to happen here is it's going to have the lowest cost per impression. It's going to try to look and put it in front of as many people every single day that's in this audience. So instead of an engagement campaign where you can optimize for people to do a video view, like to essentially watch the full video or watch a certain percentage of it, which is a great strategy. It just required a little bit more setup. And for me, I wanted more impressions than I did somebody to watch the video through. Okay, so how I have this set up, it's an awareness campaign, okay? I have the CBO Advantage campaign budget turned on. And again, this is about 5% of my daily spend. And the reason I did this, you'll see in a second, is I then have 22 ad sets with one ad in them, okay? So 22 different ads. And again, I filmed 11 more videos. So I'm gonna put another 11 in here and probably keep adding to this, but all of these are just gonna overcome objections. So there's gonna be like 30 or 40 videos in here. And how I have this thing structured, I'll just jump into one of them, is I have a frequency cap that you could apply here at this objective, at this level. So my goal is to get the maximum number of reach per ads. And what that means is I wanna get this in front of as many people as possible, like new people as possible. All right, so that's how it's set. And then I have a frequency cap of 1 impression every 5 days. Okay, so if somebody has opted into something 30 days ago, they can see one of these ads upwards of 6 times. Doesn't mean they will, but if they see it one day, essentially what that means, if they see it one day, they're not allowed to see that ad again for another 5 days. So it keeps the creatives fresh. And if you keep putting more ads in this audience, it should continue to keep that, like the times they see an ad, a lot lower. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You can't talk to me. You're on YouTube, you're watching. But you can see how this is just gonna force people to see a lot of my ads multiple times instead of asking them to take an action. Because the goal here is I want people to decide to want to work with me on their own. I'm a very marketing driven business. I'm not a very sales focused business, as in like, we don't do a lot of cold calling, or calling our leads and stuff like that. We really do try to have a high close rate where when people come to us, they're ready to work with us because they've consumed so much of our content already. So I have that set up. My targeting for this is just going to be the big 4 for me. I don't throw in Australia just because our time zones don't work out as much, but I've got US, Ireland, Canada, and UK. Age range is the avatar that I work with. And then the audience is 30-day leads. So I'll jump in a second and show you guys how to set that up. And then I did have manual placements for this. I just want these on Instagram. Yeah, that's just where most of my audience is. Now inside of here, all I did was I used an existing post. So I'm gonna post all of these things on Instagram. And then once you do that, you can just use existing posts instead of make a new ad. And you can just find that post. So that's all you gotta do. So I did that. And this is a recent post that I made. This just continuing to educate people on how to make Instagram ads. Because again, that's my core offer there, right? I don't have a button here. Like I'm just trying to get people to consume this to get to know, like, and trust me more. And because of this, it is so cheap to get this thing in front of people. So that's how I have it set up. And because I have the Advantage campaign budget, it's gonna distribute the spend across the ads in a way that makes a lot of sense for the campaign. So like for most of these, you can see so far, I uploaded this a week ago. The frequency again is how often someone sees your ad. Most people have only seen my ads once so far. The more ads that I add in here, the less that will be. But I'm okay if this frequency that they see per ad gets to 4, 5, or even 6 within that 30-day window, because I want people to get to know, like, and trust me when they first opt in to a free training or my mini course. And then over time, they're gonna watch all my stuff and be like, man, this guy's everywhere, right? And you can see how cheap this is to do it, right? It doesn't cost a lot of money to get in front of these people. I'm excited to see what happens with this, and I'll give you guys a report as I do. But that's how I have this thing set up. Now let's jump into the audiences real quick to show you guys how to set up that audience, because you could also do the same exact thing for like people who messaged you in the last 30 days as well. So I'll go ahead and open this bad boy up. So how I have this set up, I do have a pixel. This is just retargeting people that have opted into a freebie on my website. Again, my free training or my mini course, those are the two. So anybody that's visited a specific page that contains my thank you page where my video is, anybody that the pixel has like captured as a lead, right? Anybody that has completed registration, That's my optimization event for the mini course. I like it better because it keeps them separate when I optimize for events. Anybody who's visited a specific webpage masterclass, thank you. So another thing that I do is once a month, I'll do a live masterclass. I optimize for lead for that one. And then anybody who has visited this specific page, which is my mini course thank you page, right? So all of those are 30 days. Let's make another one. If you just wanted to do just like Instagram remarketing or retargeting, let's just do one from scratch so you guys could see it. Cause I know a lot of you guys just use Instagram, but you could come over here to Instagram account and then you could say anybody that has like visited my account in the last 30 days, or you could do anybody that has sent you a message, anybody who's messaged in the last 30 days. So this could be IG, DMs 30 days, right? And then I would just create audience. That could be my audience that I put these ads in front of. Again, for me, I'm not doing that. I want just people who are leads, opted into something in my website. So it's a little bit higher quality of a person because we message everybody in the DMs. And also we get, the spam accounts that message us too. I don't want my ads being pushed in front of them, right? So that's how I have this set up over here. Let me show you one more secret. Okay, if you guys are using Go High Level, check this out. So I have this pixel set up again for when the pixel fires and it puts people in this audience. But another thing that I did is you can push data back, especially from Go High Level. I love Go High Level, but you can push data back from people that have opted into things in the past. So this is Conversions API. If you're not using this, you should use this if you are running conversion ads because it'll dramatically improve the quality of leads that you get. So like inside of here, anytime someone submits an application, they become a lead for a mini course, they could become a lead for a webinar / VSL, any of this, it'll then have this automation where I can't open this up because it'll show you all my pixel stuff. But when they fill out this form, I will then push it back to Facebook and say, hey, this is a lead. I'll add them to my email list on a retargeting list. And then I'll also add them to this 30-day leads list. All right. Then I have a wait condition where 30 days goes by. Then I remove them from the 30-day leads list. Okay. But you see how powerful this is? So I did all this, but then, I also wanted, because I just launched this on Tuesday, I was like, well, I want to push people through who've opted in the last month. So I had about 600 opt-ins that I could find in my contacts list. And I just made the same automation where there's no trigger because I'm going to manually push them through, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But then I said, add to leads, right? Add to this audience that I made in Facebook, wait 30 days, and then remove them. So I'm forcing Facebook to add people to this retargeting list so that they can see these ads. Now, as you guys saw, there's about 400 people who are seeing the ads, not the full 600 here, and people who've been on the page. So just know that about a third or a fourth probably of your audience size will see those ads. At least that's what I'm noticing on my end. It kind of stinks. I wish more people saw it, but it could be because I've set up the targeting to only be a certain age range and geographical location. Okay, let me finish this thing out. So to actually push people through to this retargeting audience, you can do this in your contacts list. All right. So when I go into my contacts list, what I can do is I can filter. And then when I go into filter, I can find a workflow that's finished. And then I can pick any of my lead magnet stuff. All right. So I've got Coach VSL 2.0. So that's one of my current follow-up sequences, right? So if they finished this VSL sequence and I can say created less than, let's do 45 days because some of those will be a little bigger. They finished this workflow and the contact has been created within 45 days. Boom. Now I've got 195 people just from that one lead magnet that I can then push through that workflow. And to do this, we just select all and then I go to add to automation and then I push proceed. So now I can go back to the API workflow for retargeting manual push, which is called manual push. And I can add them that automation. So automatically all these older leads that I already had can be pushed back through API so that they can be added to that audience. Also, another pro tip, I'm really deep into conversion API and like training your pixel right now. If you want to reactively go back and push all qualified calls, if let's say you weren't using conversion API and stuff, you want to push all those qualified calls you've ever had and train your pixel, you can create a workflow that will then push an API conversion event schedule in your ads account from past leads. So if you're trying to like train your pixel to only find qualified people, you can retroactively go in and and push to Facebook, say, hey, here's a bunch of people who scheduled for me, because it helps Facebook understand who are people who are likely to convert. And then it'll put those ads in front of those people. So totally different sidebar tangent there. But I wanted to share this with you because, again, the whole goal, what I'm trying to do with these campaigns is to just get my content, be in front of these people as much as humanly possible, outside of just making them make the action. Hey, DM me. I mean, people will do that. Or, hey, go opt in again. People will do that. But again, we're in this time where people have more guard up. They have less trust. So if I can make something really simple that provides value, overcomes objections, has no link to click, all they can do is consume. And I'm really excited about this. So I'll let you guys know the updates on this as I do this more. If this does work well, I'm going to roll it out to all my clients and highly suggest you guys trying it as well. All right. So if you guys want more help with launching Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and you're a health and fitness coach, go ahead and click the link below. There'll be a mini course that's linked below that goes through everything from start to finish of how we set up and launch campaigns. So you don't have to worry about wasting money, and you can start signing 5 to 10 clients a month. And that's all I got for today. So if you like this, smash that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon.